What's up, guys? Welcome to this review and reaction to Star Wars The Bad Batch Episode 4. This time around, the Bad Batch arrives on Pandora in need of supplies. Meanwhile, a familiar Star Wars character from The Mandalorian is there as well, seemingly on the hunt for someone. Why? Who they're working for? We don't know. So, right from the word go, I'll tell you what I thought of this episode. I think outside of the first episode, this is the best episode of the season. I think this had a lot of cool world building, a lot of cool character development, and of course cool action in there as well. It had a bit of everything, really. The visuals, the animation, all great as well, still going strong that way on. The action scene towards the end, the big chase sequence, I thought was really quite thrilling and interesting. I liked the way in which they played around with Omega hanging on the back and then having to avoid getting shot down, and how Fennec Shand, who we'll get to in a minute, was clearly trying to keep her alive. She wants Omega alive. Why does she want Omega? Is she working for the Kaminoans? Is she working for someone else? Again, what's the significance of Omega? At some point, the characters have to start addressing this. It's one of the little issues that I have with the show at the minute. Tiny little nagging issue is that no one seems to be asking why she's important, why she's significant. You've got these clones who are aware that she's a clone, and that's it. They're not bothering to ask the big questions, they're not even interested in the big questions. So yeah, hopefully they start to address that, because I think that's going to be the real crux of what this show is moving forward. But anyway, back on topic, thrill and action across the board, quite a bit of good comedy in this episode as well. One of the things that I really appreciate was Wrecker. Wrecker, a character I've had mixed thoughts on throughout this run of the show so far. This episode I'm actually starting to warm to him. He's actually got this like endearing, childlike element to him, and I'm kind of starting to like him. And especially now that they've really started to play into him being the source of comedic relief in the show. So there's this one moment where he's in the sewer and he's all ready to face Fennec Shand, goes up to her, bam, he's knocked out instantly, and it was just really funny. I can't remember the line of the dialogue he said, but it was like something like to really insinuate that he was going to give her a beating, and well, it didn't happen. But anyway, this episode on the whole, I liked it. I loved the world building of Pandora. It now seems like this is a full-fledged living real city. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background, lots of shops, lots of stores, lots of people wandering around, lots of different alien races, and not just the same faces with different colours and stuff like that. They all look different, they've all got different personalities. We get to see some of the shops and some of the people who live there. It really does feel like a fully developed world, and yeah, really cool. That's one of the things I like about Star Wars. But yeah, it's also apparent now in this show that the Bad Batch is going to be taking a much slower, more methodical approach to the storytelling. There are going to be adventure of the week elements with slight little crumbs planted for the overarching narrative. And now that we've got a feel for that's what this show is going to be, I'm kind of okay with it, because that's kind of what the Clone Wars was in many ways, and even like the first couple of seasons of Rebels. I just hope that they do start to address some of the bigger questions and going on in this show. So one of the issues I had with the last episode was that it felt like everything was going really quickly. It felt like this time period was really just getting straight into things, and it felt a little unnatural. In this episode they actually address that, and they actually comment on the exact same way that I did last week, that hey, things are going really quick. So I appreciated that. It still doesn't explain why or how it's going really quick, but the fact that even the characters are acknowledging it is something, and I like that. But yeah, that's Bad Batch episode 4. I liked it quite a lot. It's my favourite episode of the season outside of the pilot. I'm looking forward to more, and just so you know, I'm not going to be reviewing this week to week anymore, because it feels like most weeks I'm just going to be saying the same thing: cool action, cool animation, cool voice acting, all that stuff. It's like, how many times can I say the same thing over and over again? So instead I'm going to be reviewing them in bulk. It might be every 2 or 3 episodes rather than 1 a week. So there might be one next week if something really big and significant happens, but they might not say it for another 2-3 weeks. We'll just have to wait and see. Click the bell on my YouTube channel to be notified when I post content, including this show. That's the best way to find out if I'm posting something. And of course I post every Saturday GMT midday British Standard Time. But you know that already, don't you? Yeah, you better. And like and subscribe to this video, share it across social media, let other people know about it, and of course follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @the_Grant_Burton. And that's all I've got for now, because I've got to go wash my shirt because I spilled some tea on it before I started recording, in typical Grant Burton fashion. Until next time though, thanks for watching.